Hello again, I am John Bob and welcome to City Skylines Remastered live on the PS5. And it's time to say good news, bad news. Bad news, Bobbington, as you see it, is no more. It turns out that I didn't actually activate the 25 tiles. I went back, I checked, I loaded up a new map and made sure I ticked the option and then went through all the achievements, the milestones, to see if there would be a difference. And it does say when you get to the final milestone that you unlock all remaining tiles, and I didn't get it. So take one last look at Bobbington, because Bobbington is no more. Instead, we've got Bobbington version 2.0. This is something I've been working on during the week to try and get us back to a similar kind of level as to where we were. And I have taken the opportunity to go about things in a bit of a different way. Welcome to Bobbington 2.0. So, a little bit different, as you can see. But I have made, as you can see, a few different changes. I've tried to expand on this area a bit more. There's no farm this time. The industry's moved to a different area and it's a lot smaller. I've started laying down some work for the middle section here. We've gone with a different station. I put a business park in next to the station. I've gone ahead and pre-constructed our highway connection. This is going to go off and join up to the highway over there when we unlock that tile. And then it'll come across here and split, going over the river there to the roundabout for our downtown area, while the other part of it will continue down here to what will potentially become our airport over on that little island over there once we unlock that tile. So yeah, things have changed a little bit. I've also put our water treatment facility in down here, and I've gone ahead and done a little bit of terraforming on the bank, as you can see. So we've gone ahead and put in some of the quayside wall there that we had last time out, but it's a bit smoother this time. Obviously, we're just doing it straight on onto the banks with no roads or houses to try and follow, and I think it'll be easier for us to put a road going alongside that than trying to put that alongside a road. So I did that first, and then I flattened out the area just here, just to the side of the castle ruins over here, just so I could put in our water treatment facility over here. So we've got two pumping stations to pull the water in. We've got our big water pumping station, some spare water tanks, and then our water treatment is just here as well. A couple of eco pods and a normal treatment plant. And then I put in the normal original quayside that you get from the Natural Disasters DLC, and just looped that around, and then terraformed the walls of the ground up a little bit, just to disguise into that, just not suddenly abruptly stopping in in thin air. So just flatten that out a bit. I've also put a prison in just as a temporary thing, just because at the time I was running very low on prison prison capacity or cell capacity. So that is a basic look there at Bobbington. Let's show you the zoning. So there's no high density in yet. It's all still low density, but I have got offices and stuff in. So we've got a little bit of low density over here. I've tried to be a little bit more creative with bits of the road network as well, so it's not all just grid. I mean, there's a lot of grid work in it still, but it's not the same boring, bland grid that we had before. There are some variations in it this time around. This is where I did have my water treatment down here originally, and then obviously I relocated it once I'd uprated the treatment facility itself. And then as we move around here, we've got our bridge going over our sort of highway area. It's looking a little bit jerky at the moment. There we go. Let's try and smooth that out a bit. I have dropped a lot of trees in, as you can see. Trying to line the highway with some trees, just to give it a little bit more of a nice scenario, aesthetic is the word I'm looking for there. Still got some space over here to play about with. Not quite sure what I want to do with that yet. We've got some offices and some commercial along here. I've gone ahead and built a small little area on the island here where we've got the first castle ruins. So I've just put in some commercial and some small housing there, and then just small housing all the way along there, and then a park and a dog park. Some bridges connecting in. Again, I've gone ahead and pre-created some roads just to provide the starting point for future expansion in different areas. This is the business park that I put in, so put in some offices, a couple of plazas, some pathways around each of the buildings. I went ahead and dropped in the software company unique building as well from this list here as the centerpiece for that particular park. And then over here we've got our station area, so we've got a road going up and over the rail line, which I did resculpt a little bit. And there you can see we've gone for a different station this time. We've gone for the bypass station, so that passenger lines can pull into the station and platforms, and then the freight trains will just run straight through the middle without getting in the way of anything. Had a little bit of trouble trying to figure out how to get the pathway to connect up, because it didn't like having a road going all the way across and then connecting in there from this corner here. It hates it for whatever reason. That's the bit that's supposed to connect to a road, but then when you try and go across, it's just like, nope, you can't do that. So you have to kind of go away from it, which is awkward and frustrating. So there's a bit of path over here that's pre-built onto this that will connect to a road but won't connect to a path. It's really bizarre. So I actually had to put the path going through the hedges just a little bit further along, as you can see, to actually get people to use that side path, and then I just tried to disguise that with some trees and stuff around there. Got an intercity bus terminal back in again, so that is ready and waiting to go. We've got a taxi rank as well, so this is our taxi sort of pick up and drop off point. Unfortunately, we do still get some commuters just parking their cars vanishing and teleporting into the immaterium for them to then just walk in, and then they'll do the same. They'll come out and their cars will just suddenly appear. It's annoying when that happens. I tried all sorts of different traffic routing to try and get them to stop doing that, but it just didn't work for whatever reason. I was trying to get them to just use the main road in and out, which they were doing at first, but once I started building up the area, they kind of stopped doing that. So yeah, that's our station area, and another small little office area around here. There is our bus depot and our taxi depot just there, so that's where those vehicles will all feed out from, feeding into our main network over here. Got a roundabout which will then go over the railway again, as it does there. I'm going to do something in this area. Might have a little bit of industry in this area, I think, possibly. Not entirely sure yet. In this sort of block here, I think that would be quite good for industry. And we could also then sneak a railway line for maybe a cargo hub somewhere in here, a freight rail line cargo hub, potentially. We'll have to see how that works. And then obviously a prison inn just as a temporary thing. Might just get rid of that, I don't know, but it's there for now. Again, putting in a placeholder road for when we expand into that part of the map as well. I deleted out that part of the rail network because just don't need it yet. It's still there because I don't have access to that tile. And there's the looping highways. So with this, I didn't want to have a massive, gigantic interchange where the highways different met. So with the main line coming through here, you can see we just go along this way, and then this one will just go round and it will loop back, and eventually once we get that tile we'll connect up to the highway over there. Now obviously if they want to go downtown, then they can pull off here and they can loop over this way, still on the highway, get to this roundabout, and then from there they get into the downtown area, and then from here obviously that will just loop back and connect back up over there. So if they want to get onto this side here, what we'll do is we'll have small little you know, interchange points like this, where we can obviously just filter traffic on and off the highway connection from there, which will run all the way along through there. And then we'll just have bridges going across the waterfront all the way along down there, and they can jump off one of those bridges onto this part of the island, and then quickly jump onto the highway to get to the airport that way. That's kind of the plan. So we'll see how it works, you know, going forward. But that's kind of what I've got in my mind going forward. So yeah, there we go. That is Bobbington 2.0. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Evening Corey, evening Chris. Good to see you guys. Now it's time for us to kind of push on a little bit. In terms of landmarks, you can see I've got a lot of money because I've been, you know, having to build up supplies to do other stuff, and then I just forgot to pause while I was building a load of stuff. So we ended up earning a ton of money, but of course the downside to having the game running for so long is that my cemeteries are now half full. This is what we look like in terms of land value right now. So we're getting some nice green coming in. I do have a university, which is over here somewhere. There it is. There's my university, and I've got a couple of tennis courts next door to it. And then we've got a second high school in, and I've used the different high school there, just so we've got a difference of assets, not using the same asset over and over again. And we do have the old villagey style elementary school there as well. That might get swapped out at some point, not sure yet. The other school is somewhere. Where did I put my other schools? Up here. So we've got the high school up here with a playground, a large playground next to it. And then the other side of the bridge is where we've got our elementary with a small playground next to it. And that's where the other education is there. So obviously, yeah, with that extra small little elementary there, I think we've got 3 in total. Let's have a look. So yeah, we've got one over here as well. Just a small one there on that little side street. And there's the 2 high schools. I do have just the 1 university campus. That's all we need at the moment, and I've got 1 public library in just here as well. I did have some bus routes in, but I had to take those out because I started messing around with the road networks and it kind of just screwed up the routes completely, so I just deleted them, and we can rebuild the bus routes tonight. But yeah, no active train connections at the moment apart from external trains coming in, and no bus connections at the moment apart from external buses coming in. So now we've got a station and we've got a bus terminal here. We can actually do something a little bit different with the buses this time. So let's go ahead and start straight away by sticking in a new bus line. Let's start here. So we want this bus to come out, and we kind of want to feed this bus out this way. So we'll stop just there, and we'll bring this bus down into this area over here. So we'll stop just the other side of the bridge. We stop just here. I haven't got anything servicing that area yet. We'll come back to that one at a later time, I think. For now, I kind of want to link this one. Oh, I've got a bus terminal down here as well. I didn't even realise I'd put 2 in. Well, that makes things interesting. Okay. So if that's the case, let's bring this bus around the school area. We'll put a stop in by the library as well, I think. I have to move the stop later. Let's see, do I want to cover... I want to cover down to about here and then turn around. Don't really want to do that. What I kind of want is to come back up there. Again, we can add an extra stop in. So rather than having an end-to-end loop like we did last time, where it's just a loop that goes all the way around one part of the city and then one going exactly opposite, with this one we're going to do something a little bit different. So for the most part it will be its own reversing loop. We'll just have you know, if you're into model railways, it would be a dog bone layout, you know, kind of thing, where you have just two thin lines that run kind of parallel all the way, and then you have the loop at either end where the bus turns itself back around again. So we'll just have dog bone layout bus lines, I think. Let's create a second line, get this one coming out. This one we're going to bring over the road this way. So we'll get that one to stop just there. We'll bring this one out to this route over here. We'll bring it down onto this kind of central avenue down here. And we'll just loop it straight back around for now because we haven't built anything further over there yet. And there we go, that'll loop around and connect back up that way. So we've got two bus routes in so far. Let's get a bus route from here going to our business park, perhaps. We definitely want to have one going from here to the station as well. So if we start here, let's see. Oh, the road only goes out one way, doesn't it? Okay. So I think the best thing for us to do is to just do a direct route. We'll come into the business park. We'll stop there. Loop back around. And then go to there. And then from there, we'll go back that way. Just check that loops through. Yes, it does. Let's put a stop here as well. Whoop. Let's put a stop or two along this Central Avenue bit here as well. Why does that bus route remind you of Baku? Good question. There we go. So let's just stretch that out over a little bit further. I guess you're talking about the pink line. Yeah, I can kind of see that a little bit. Oh yeah, I remember those days as well, where you had to click out repeatedly just to get the colour you wanted. Yeah, it's so frustrating. They have definitely simplified things in that respect. We want a bus. We don't have to have buses that constantly run from here either. I mean, it makes sense for us to have, you know, focal points for our bus lines, but they don't all have to come from here. So we'll do one more from here for now. Let's bring this one out. We'll bring this one Let's see, we haven't covered this part of the map yet, but we can kind of do that with that bus route. And we've got our connection from one part of the city to the next with the bus line there. So let's bring our line out through here. Actually, I do kind of like the idea of maybe running along here to start this line. And then bring it in this way. And run this line straight through that way. This is one of those bits where, I mean, you can't really see it at the moment. It's where I had a little bit of variation in the grid format. So we actually have just lines that come down here, and then there's no actual route through on some of these junctions. There is on a couple. So there's one there and there's one there. But there isn't one through here, and there isn't one through there either. Just deliberate, you know, just to try and break up the shape of the things a little bit as well. And then if we loop around this way, and then we can come back along here. And again, we're not looking for total coverage, we're just looking for decent coverage. If we blanket the entire area with bus lines, it gets a little bit too much for the traffic now. We do want a little local bus from here, I think. And we will use a different bus line for this one. We'll use one of the smaller Sprinter buses for this one. So we've got a couple of options here. So we want to have one line that kind of starts here. We'll stop maybe just there, and then come back around this way. I'm going to have to loop this round over here, aren't I? There we go. Now we can loop this up this way. And we'll cut through to here. And then we'll go over that bridge. I've just realised we haven't got a bus going up to our university or school over here either, have we? And then this one is going to loop around here. To our bus station. And from there it's going to go back on itself. Given that we've only got the one university, we will add a second one at some point in the future, a different style. I've even got, I think I've got the campus DLC, I'm not sure. If I have, then we can build our own campus sort of somewhere over here, you know, in that big built up area, but we'll just have a standard, you know, university campus just there. Right, one more little Sprinter route perhaps. On this one we're just going to try and bisect a couple of different lines. So this one won't go to our bus station, but it will intersect with multiple other routes that can obviously go directly to the bus line if necessary. There we go. We'll have a little turnaround area just there. So there we go. Just a nice, simple, straightforward loop up to the library for anyone who's retiring, just wants to get out and do something like that. Evening, Mr. Water. And now we just need something to connect to our university here, don't we? So let's have one more line coming out from this bus line service over here. We'll drop... actually, yeah, we'll bring this one out this way. SITV, welcome. We'll stop just there, and then stop outside the high school as well. Got a post office over there that we can stop by. And we could even turn around in there as well, if necessary. We've got nothing connecting this area over here, so let's bring this line down into here. We'll do a little terminus loop there. Cut back this way. There we go, and then connect our loop up. There we go. You've never seen the campus DLC. It's kind of the same as Park Life and airports. You basically build your own university. I've not used it yet, but we've got it, so we can give that a try at some point. So it's the same kind of thing. You draw your campus area, and once you do that, you can then start unlocking different road types. You can do trade schools. You can do varsity sports. You've got museums. It's kind of cool. What's the other ones that we can't see yet? Liberal Arts College and just standard university campus. So yeah, that's what we've got to look forward to. And trade campus is definitely one I'm very interested in getting set up. So there we go. Let's do a little bit of city watching on these new lines. I've got to sort out colours and stuff and bus lines. So this is not one of our little sprinters. This is one of our little sprinter buses. So this one here, we want to change the model of that to a small bus. Let's have a look at this one. You can hear the pings of happy people getting their buses. Okay, so that is the bus that we've just unleashed, and that's a coach. It's too big. It looks too big, even though it's actually got a smaller capacity than what I want to put in there. It just looks too big. So let's change that model. See, I really like this. I really like these little sprinter buses. I wish there were smaller buses. You know, buses that had a capacity of maybe 18 or 20, just little local buses. This is the closest thing that we can get to those, at least over here anyway. The closest thing to the small sort of sprinter buses that we have here in the UK. So, where is my bus depot? There it is. There is our little sprinter bus, and it just looks smaller, even though it's not. It looks smaller. I think it just packs the people in a bit more. So there we go. That's one of our sprinters, and let's have a look at the other one. which was it this one? No, it wasn't that one. But we could make that a sprinter because it's a short route. So let's make that one a sprinter as well. There we go. Where is the other line? Oh, it's this one. There we go. And then, let's see. We've got a biggish kind of line. You know, theoretically, let's just make them all sprinters for now. I think. They're all different colours, so yeah, let's make them all sprinters for now. We can play about with that once we expand the city a bit more. But for now, we'll just do this. So sprinter, that one needs to change. Oh. I just think these look better because the colour isn't just so all-consuming. It's just the different line is represented by the different colour on the actual bus itself, and now we've got a horrible queue for all of these buses just trying to feed back in to be decommissioned, and all these brand new buses being unleashed, and they're all queuing up and trying to, yeah, it's a mess. It's a real mess right now. Look at this. Probably should have staggered the changeover of those a little bit, just to give them time to try and catch up. It's like Carmageddon, but with buses. And they're still coming out. You can see them all queuing up at the terminal. That's an intercity coach, bringing people in from the outside world. Being told to get in line and wait its turn. And we still got chaos behind us. We still have chaos behind us. They're still trying to file the old buses back in. Still got new ones coming out. I think that's it. I think that might be the last of them. What is that? Is that an RV? Front of it almost makes it look like it's a VW camper van. Oh, it's disappeared. It's parked. It's just when I was getting a chance to look at it, still queuing up like crazy. Yeah, we've got to wait for this to settle down a little bit. There's another out of town bus coming in. Here goes a train. We've got another one coming through. Lots of people using the platform. They're getting in on a train. They're immediately swapping to another platform and leaving on another train. You can see a lot of people coming in. And you see there, look, they go to the end of that path, and then even if I try and collect another path to that, there's no actual connection point, so they just turn around and walk back again. It's really frustrating, so I had to position a pathway alongside here that would kind of cut through the scenery a little bit. So most of them will go out this way and then loop round there and sort of go into the retail park there. I've got our taxi rank over here. that is also a teleporting car business. It'd be nice to have like an actual car park asset somewhere nearby to stop all this, or even if I could actually just turn off parking on that road altogether, that would be nice. See, you don't have that option at the moment. How you doing, Colin? But yeah, things are starting to calm down at the bus depot, as you can see. People queuing, people waiting. There's no massive, queue of buses. They're all kind of cycling themselves out into position. Let's have a look at our other bus depot over here. Again, quite a few people queuing and waiting for buses. There's another out-of-town bus coming through, and a garbage truck as well. It doesn't stop them from just vanishing parking like that, I don't think. It might do. Let's try it. See if that stops cars from going down there. And I mean, I'm fine with people, getting out of a taxi there or getting into a taxi there. That's why I created this slip road. But I think just, they would normally park here, but obviously there is no car parking because this was actually just cutting through into that car park. I'm okay with that. That's kind of there for that. But yeah, hopefully this will reroute some of the traffic away. We've got to leave it a moment just so we'll speed time up, to let existing vehicles that were on a journey complete that journey. And you can see some of them are just despawning there. So I'm wondering if that means that they are no longer able to park down here. Nope, he just parked on the side of the road and disappeared. So did she, and he did, she did. So we'll just give it another couple of minutes and see if that has kind of solved the issue, but I honestly, I don't think it has. He's turning around, not really sure what to do. He's going to park there anyway and teleport the car. This does mean when the next train comes through, we're going to get a ton of people just suddenly spawn vehicles on that bit of sidewalk there as well. I tell you what, given how many trees I've got in and the fact that I got some camera jitter just then moving through, does worry me a little bit about what this is going to be like when we've got more than 9 tiles. If it's already showing signs of performance stutter with all these trees and assets on just like 4 tiles, that's not a good sign. So, are we going to get a sudden deluge of cars coming out? Yes, there goes some. Yeah, it's what I was trying to avoid, but the only other alternative is to take that pathway out and stop them from doing that. Force them to go the long way round. But even that, I don't think will solve the issue. Well, it might do. Alright, we'll leave that like that for now, and we'll come back and check on it in a bit. Otherwise we'd just be sat there doing nothing for ages. As you can see, this area's had a little bit of terraforming done just to fit the highway connections in. Just flattened out the land a little bit over here, and obviously dug myself a little trench running along there, just to bring that down at a nice level, and then we jump over the river just here. I am needing to get to 15,000 people to get the next tile, and that will then catch us up to where we were, because we just got to 15,000 last time out, and unlocked that tile just there, but we're not quite there yet, so we need to cram some more people into our city. So let's go ahead and start zoning in this area here. We do have some more office potential. And we want to go to select. I'm not sure if I want to put any more offices in around the station. It's already pretty busy around here. I mean, we could fill this space up here a little bit more with some more offices. Let's look at maybe doing that. Maybe put in a couple of shops as well. Let's bring a little road out here. Oh. Is this going to be... yeah, that's what I was expecting. So we can bring that road off here instead. Just add in a small little block here. So let's put some more offices along here. And what I've started doing is not filling everything to its absolute maximum size potential. Putting in little blocks of offices like that. Wanting to create just something a little bit different, a little bit of variety in terms of the way the area is presented. So we've got a nice zebra crossing just there, so it makes sense to have a path directly opposite that running behind those offices, and then we've got some slightly bigger ones just there on the corner. We can do something similar in the middle. We could look at maybe putting in another unique building. Let's see what we've got available. We've got a department store. Got a fantastic fountain that's too big. I don't want anything big, that's the thing. So I think these areas are going to be a little bit too big. Yeah, even that one's a little... that will kind of fit. That is the statue of shopping. So I suppose it... I was going to say it doesn't look like shopping, but it's credit cards, isn't it? Yeah. So let's put in some shops in this area in the middle. Again, what we'll do is we'll have a little bit of a gap between them. Just create some little back pathways running alongside our fountain there. I've got to put some water pipes in for this area. We'll do that in a moment. Let's pause it for a second. Let's see, what can we do with this? Let's put a couple of shops in here as well. So let's go with a little row of shops there. Like so. Again, we'll have a pathway through there. We'll have a big shop on that corner. We'll have some small shops running along there. And then we'll have a couple of big shops through here. And then we can maybe have some trees or something in the middle there. Just to create like a mini square area. In fact, I wonder... because I want to create a park as well. I wasn't initially thinking of putting an actual park in there, so then I turned it into an industry, not an industry park, in a business park, rather than just an actual park. Let's put a park in along here. And the reason I want to do this is I want to gain access to those decoration tiles that you can put down on the floor. So let's dezone those houses. There we go. That'll be our little park over there, Sunset Garden. Do we have access to them, or are they going to be locked for a while? There we go. So the plan will be to kind of put those in the middle as some decoration. And then we can do something. Where are they gone? Okay, I missed a pathway, didn't I? Okay, just going to go across a little bit more on that. So let's go there, and there, and there, and there. There we go. We can actually put in some benches and stuff in here as well. See, we're not limited to just using the park DLC only for parks. You can use it pretty much wherever you want. You might have to, actually have a park to unlock certain things first, but once you've done that, you can kind of go ahead and get creative. Let's move that a little bit closer. There we go. So we've got trash cans in between the benches. Let's go ahead and put in sunflowers. Rotate that round. Again, just try and make the area look a little bit pretty. There we go. Let's let that stuff zone in. We need that pipe work, don't we? So that road isn't there anymore, so I need to take that pipe out. Let's bring this road across like that, and then down like that, and then across like that. There we go. So we're just getting a little bit of character into the area. It's not just wall-to-wall buildings. We are actually getting a little bit of space and pathways between them as well. It also means that we get lighting between the buildings as well. So let's go ahead and go to our options and use the day-night cycles, because I want to see how that looks when the lights come on. And I can change it from the slider bar as well. Just looking to see if there's anything. I want to get some more zoning in done before nightfall hits, ideally. So let's go ahead and zone these blocks here. That's just one very, very long. Okay, so that's actually the perfect length. Which makes that a little frustrating. Okay, so let me take that line off. So that's 1, 2, 3. We'll do that. We'll put a break in after 3. So 1, 2, 3. Put a break in there. In fact, let's do it after 2. And we can put something in that space instead of just a house, maybe, potentially. And then along this side here, we'll just go housing like that, and then housing there. I do need some more pipe work, it would seem. that one done. Let's do this one. We'll do that one. Like that. Drop a pathway there and across. Actually, no, we don't need a pathway there. So we can just connect that back in. Let's take those out there. So yeah, this is the funky one that we were doing. Could maybe put a child healthcare service there or something. Let's have a look. Healthcare, child healthcare. It's a little bit too big. Of course it is. It's going to break the pathway. Okay, let's mix things up a little bit. So instead of a row of houses that goes all the way along like that, let's go up. So we go from there to there to there, and then across. This is where it gets tricky trying to build in the dark. Okay, can I now squeeze my healthcare in there? No, it still won't fit. Okay, I'm gonna have to get even more sacrificial. Can't see a damn thing. Oh, this is ridiculous. Alright, so I need to have space like that by the look of it. So that does kind of limit us a little bit. But let's try fitting that in. And then we'll go for our child healthcare. And that will now fit. Very nice. There we go. Oh yes, water. Okay, let's put a side pipe going up there. And we'll put another one up here. Just extend that slightly, like that. Drag that along to there. There we go. So how's our little business park over here look now? Oh, the castle looks cool. First time I've really looked at this over here. We've got a little campfire, is that? Or is it just some scenic lighting? That looks very cool. There's a little cave there. That's awesome. And then, yeah, the castle lighting just looks really cool. I like that. That is really nice. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I like that. Yeah, having the street lights around the centre of our little mini retail park like that. That looks quite nice. Lots of light around our little shopping square there. Our little secondary business area over there. City does look very pretty with the lights. It's coming along nicely. Obviously it's very dark on these side roads because they're still dirt roads. I haven't gone ahead and done those yet. I'm not sure if I will go back to doing what we were doing on the last one. That was very labour intensive. I might do. I might just throw in normal roads and be done with it. But yeah, coming along quite nicely, our city. We're up to 13,000. We still need another 2,000 people. So let's continue adding in more people. Got some zoning over here that's done. Let's go ahead and zone in a load of houses along here. And over here we need a little bit more commercial. We need some more office as well, or industry. Let's put some stuff in over here. So these are smaller grids over here. These are just 20 units across rather than the sort of weird number that I've been doing for the other ones. So I'm not going to put pathways between, you know, split these ones up, I don't think. I might do. Actually, I don't know why I've gone ahead and zoned that as commercial. That shouldn't be. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That just enables us to get some slightly smaller buildings, you know, in those middle areas. That one's too big, that's going to go. Let's get rid of it now. Let's throw in some more housing around here. With the housing, I'm not going to bother. You know, putting split paths in. We will through the centre, but we won't split them that way. That would just be a bit messy, I think. Again, I've got no power and no water in this area at the moment. Just looking to create new neighbourhoods. I haven't actually, speaking of neighbourhoods, I haven't gone ahead and actually zoned in anything yet in terms of creating districts. So we can go ahead and do some district work in this stream as well. Let's put a few offices in around the back here on both sides, just to act as a little bit of a noise buffer from the commercial and the main road to the residentials. Major power issues at the moment. Way over my budget, that's why. Let's up our power to 115. Is that enough? Not yet, it's not. Oh, yeah. I've got different budgets for different times of day, haven't I? Forgot about that with the day-night cycle. Well, everything else is just at 100, apart from I think my taxis is busier during the day. So let's, yeah, push that up to 115 as well. There we go. That's the jump that I was expecting to see. Could still be a little bit better. Our water is... Why's my sewage draining capacity gone down? There we go, back up to 240. It's just taking its time to catch up. We need to up our budget a little bit more. Let's go to 125 on both. We'll up our water budget to 110. Because we're getting close, and we've got a whole new district that's about to get power and water as well. So we are grabbing power now off the lines that I'm running all the way along there to connect to our water district, but I'm not getting any water yet. So let's go ahead and take care of that now. There we go. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was zoning stuff, wasn't I? I just lost my train of thought for a second then. Let's zone in a bit more residential down here as well. We do need to go ahead and do some more industry, some actual industry rather than just residential, I think. So let's go ahead and actually go ahead with the plan of putting in some industry down here. Let's see, I could maybe put a little lumber industry here, maybe. I don't want to put a big industry, you know, specialized industry too far away from a highway. And we're not horrendously far away from that interchange there. Actually, yeah, we could do it coming off there, couldn't we? Coming in that way. Is that land arable? Could we maybe put some farmland in there? Only a very little bit. I could maybe get a couple of fields over here. Just get a couple of fields there. It might be better to just go forestry. Still don't have water over here. I thought I dealt with that. Oh, no. I missed this bit. Bring that road up. There we go. Yep, coming along nicely. We could probably do with another cemetery, given how spaced out everything is, and we're probably also getting close to maxing one of them out as well. So let's throw another cemetery in somewhere over here. Maybe over here in this new area. So we can find an appropriate space. Do kind of like just there for the cemetery. And again, that's a good spread distance from where the other ones are. We've got one there, and the other one is... Where is the other one? Where did I put the other cemetery? There it is. There's the other cemetery just there. So that gives us pretty good even distribution of cemeteries across what we've built so far. Back into this area, we're going to need some services. I've got a building on fire, and we are a long way from our, you know, local police and fire engines. They're finally turning up. Well, they've had to come down the highway to get there, so that's not good. So let's go ahead and pop in our services here. We're just going to go small services. We don't want any of the big buildings. We'll save those for more built-up areas. This is quite a small area over here, and it's going to cover part of this area and this area here, and also potentially, you know, maybe cover a little bit of this industry area here as well. So that'll keep them occupied quite nicely. On the other side of the road, we'll put in a little medical clinic. Let's go with that one, just to change things up a little bit. And let's put another post office in as well, because we've only got a couple of those so far. Let's move them the other way around. It's a corner building, so it makes sense to put it on the corner, where it wraps around quite nicely, like that. There we go. So we've got our medical, we've got our post office, our police and our fire. Could do with a little education over here, maybe. Put in a small little country bumpkin school. Let's move. Where's the small one I had over here? There it is. Let's replace that one with a slightly more modern one. In fact, if we're going to do that, we should probably go with slightly more rustic versions of those buildings as well. So let's go with an older style firehouse, and the older style police station won't fit anymore. Okay, let's try moving the post office. That's frustrating. Okay. Get around it that way. There we go. So put the fire service a bit further along that way. Let's go with the older style police station, and then I can maybe move. There we go. That works. This area is starting to come up quite nicely. We do still need that more industry, don't we? So do I just build a standard? I think I'll just build a standard industrial zone. No fancy specialisation. What I do want to look at though is maybe putting in a freight terminal. So I don't want it to be on the road, I want it to come off the road a little bit. And I want it to be the other way around as well. So my road needs to be, how many units up? 4, 7, 8. It needs to be about 9 units up, by the look of it. So that's my 4. That's my 8. That's my 9. Yeah, that's perfect. Actually, let's move that along a little bit more. It's just going to terminate there. It's not going to carry on. Let's go to our rail line, get our rail tool. I've got a pillar there, haven't I? Okay, so I want the line to kind of come away. Sort of like that. And then we want that to connect on. Yeah, that's coming down too early, so that's got to stay higher. Okay, so let's take that bridge out. Let's put the rail connection in the way it would make more sense. So we'll build that first. There we go, so it's a little bit more natural. Let's just see if we can just connect it a little bit earlier up on that curve. Like so. Yeah, that looks better. Right. Get my narrow 4-lane road. Yeah, it's gone too high, hasn't it? Yeah. Oh, damn it, now I'm deleting the wrong thing. It's going to be one of those days again. I can just feel it. Sometimes I really hate the terraform. Well, not the terraforming, just the building tools, or the lack of the building tools in this game. You just can't be precise. And you end up with these really weird, wonky kind of roads that just don't look what you want them to be. That's not even going to be straight now, is it? No, it's not. It's a little bit more drastic to actually just go with a sharp turn like that, but it might be the easiest way to do this. Don't like the look of that. Let's bring it up earlier. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. There we go. Let's put that power line back in. We'll a replacement power line in. Move it to the opposite side. There we go. So now we need to go ahead and actually put in our actual industry now. Evening, Marcel. Evening, TV3. Embrace the wonkiness. Yeah, that's kind of what I decided to do in the end. It wasn't exactly how I wanted it, and it wasn't how it was originally laid out, but I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It gives a bit more character, I suppose. It's just I try to avoid. It's actually smoothed out that corner quite nicely. I was just worried it would look a bit janky, but it's not too bad. It's to say it's not ideal. It's not how I'd like it to be, but yeah, it'll do. It's good enough. As the famous Greek scholar Mediocrities said, "Yeah, good enough." So I want my main access point to be, I think, about here. There we go. And by having a little area like this over here, I can also now put in some garbage collection over here as well, and keep that away from our residential. So I think along here is probably the best bit. It might make a few people at the station slightly miserable, but well, tough. Shouldn't live next to a station. Well, it's only some offices and just the people on the platforms, and they can hold their breath. So we'll zone in the industry along here. Again, I've got some options for putting something there other than just industrial buildings. What I am going to do is I am going to make that a one-way road. So the traffic feeds in there, comes straight back out and has to come out this way, and then it can go that way, or it can go that way to go straight to the highway. You know, this way you can take it into the city centre area there, or it can go this way to kind of loop around into this area, and the highway connection there as well. So it forces the traffic out that way, and then it's just a question of, do I make that one-way or two-way? And I think I'll leave that two-way. But yeah, we will make that just that one little bit of Thompson Street one way. It's one way there, and then I think we'll leave that two-way as well. Piping, missing piping. Again, this is a little wasteful. If you're trying to be as efficient as possible, you wouldn't build your pipe networks the way I'm doing, but you know, I like to be a little bit more realistic with my pipes and keep them under roads rather than under houses where possible, because that's how they are in real life. Yeah, it just makes things a little bit more realistic, and it's not like we're hurting for money, let's face it. 1.7 mil in the bank right now. So let's zone in that industry, get those buildings coming up. Why don't I have power? Or have I just hit my limit again? No, just don't have an active connection. Oh yeah, because when I put those in, it deleted the connection over here. Okay. That's okay, we can fix that. Is that close enough? It's right on the edge. It's not close enough. Oh, no, it is. It is. It is close enough. Excellent. There we go. What are you planning on doing the week off, Mr. Water? Apart from watching all my streams, of course. We are actually close to running out of power again. We're at sewage limit over there. Is that again a power issue or a water issue? A little bit of both, really. We need to increase our water treatment, so we need another one of these. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to build 2 of them. But we're only going to turn 1 of them on. Starting through your massive backlog of games. Yeah, good luck with that. I keep meaning to start on my massive backlog of games, and then I go and buy another one. So I just you got to learn to accept that your backlog will always be a backlog. It'll never be dealt with. Make peace with that. Why is that not snapping anymore? There we go. That's as far as I can take it. He bought Diablo 4. So yeah, that backlog, yeah, it's already doomed, isn't it? If you just bought Diablo 4. That won't fit there. Okay, nuts. It won't really fit along here either. Not without eating into the ruins. I suppose I could always relocate. Actually, let me delete that and just slap in one of those instead. They have a bigger capacity. They're not the bio-organic, natural treatment ones, so I don't know if there's an actual difference, but it will certainly improve my water handling, or my sewage handling. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one out as well. Throw in an extra one. There we go. That balances those two back out again. So my water and intake and output are the same now. Play F1, watch Jim Bob sleep, repeat. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, I wholeheartedly endorse that plan. I'll have Dark Descent soon. Yes, I will. Very soon. Counting down the days. I've got 11 days to go. Less than 11 days. 10 days and an hour and 26 minutes. Ish. If my maths is correct. I'll start getting really, really excited when it just suddenly pre-installs on my system. I'm like, oh, it's installed! And then it'll be the most agonising 48 hours waiting for it to actually go live. Right, what do we need to do with power? We need an extra power plant. Maybe we could put some power down here in this area. Where is it? There it is. We've got this little space here. We could maybe put a little bit of power in there. Let's have a look at what we've got in terms of options. I don't want to go hydroelectric. Could go geothermal. That works. Sits in there quite nicely. Yeah, there's TV3 with the geothermal recommendation as well. Do I not favour the water towers? I had the water towers in on my old map before I started work on this one, and then I had the other ones in as well, just up here. And then when I expanded, and I was trying to recreate what we did in the last one, so I started with water towers just over here, just off the highway there, so that they weren't going to pick up the pollution from the industry. And I had a couple of these water treatment things over in the original industrial estate, and then on Bobbington 1.0 we actually had our water treatment plants just here, just down this bit of bankway just there, and so what I did was I relocated it, but again put that back in with a slightly different configuration. But it was always my plan to actually upgrade from water towers to a proper water facility like that. But yeah, we did start with the water towers. So let me check my power budget now. It's going to be way over, isn't it? Yeah, we can save some money there by dropping our power budget right down. We can also do the same, just get a baseline. Do the same with our water budget now as well, now that we've upgraded our water capacity. So we've got about 50 megawatts to play with. Maybe less than that. 320 megawatts to play with in total. So we haven't got a huge surplus there. We've got plenty of water surplus though. We've got about 100,000 litres or cubic meters. Will I be watching the final tomorrow? No, probably not. Probably just be busy gaming. I don't know. I might do. I mean, I don't have. It's on Sky, isn't it? It's not on free TV, so that kind of dooms me straight away. Or is it BT Sport rather than Sky? Oh, that's too much. We took way too much off there on the budget. Let's go to 85. Oh, that was just a bit too close to the... Let's go 90, 95. Just save I'd save a couple of... Why am I trying to save money when I've got all that money? I don't know. Let's just leave budgets as they are. No need to mess about with them. We've got more than enough money. Getting some nice leveling up on our industry already over there. That's good. Wait to see if we start getting some freight. There we go. Got our first freight train leaving. Oh yeah, I forgot BT, they stream the final live, don't they, on YouTube for free. That's how I watched it last year. I might do, I don't know. I might have it on in the background while I'm doing other stuff. I was planning on learning how to play Frostpunk the board game tomorrow, which is going to take up pretty much the entire day. Yeah, that thing's going to be a beast to learn. And we got ourselves a passenger train coming into our station. Which platform's he taking? Have I played Frostpunk on the console? Yeah, I'm just a couple of trophies away from the platinum on that, but I haven't gone back and done the last two challenges that I need to do on, you know, the hardest difficulty, because I'm just not that much of a glutton for punishment. I couldn't take it all in one go. I had to take a breather, and I will go back at some point and attack those final challenges, but yeah, I just needed to take a break from it for a while. But I love the game. Frostpunk 2 is actually getting an info dump on Sunday the 11th, so I will be keeping an eye out on that. Cannot wait for that. And yeah, because of my love of that, I decided to shell out and get the board game, which isn't cheap, and it is a huge table hog, but it is one of those games that, you know, you just have to splash out on every now and again. Just splash out on a big luxury game purchase, and that's my big luxury game purchase. Yeah, most of my board games are in the sort of 30, maybe £40 range. A couple are slightly priced in that, but that one's up there. That's like 80 quid. Very, very pricey. But you know, once you get your head around the rules, it is incredibly rewarding. An experience by all accounts. Very, very hard, brutally hard, probably harder than the console version, I would imagine, because it is going to play in a slightly different way, but they are trying to, you know, take the computer game, as many elements of that as possible, and translate it onto the table. So yeah, touch wood, it'll be a challenging and brutal but enjoyable experience. I don't really want to make this area over here any bigger, because I'm already getting some traffic issues over here. That's another reason why I wanted to put industry over here, to try and feed some of that traffic away from, or, you know, those traffic issues away from over there. I could extend out into this area on this side as well, I think. There's no reason why we can't do that. Have a little bit more industry over here. In fact, I could even put my my waste disposal over on this side, and the power plant on that side. Let's do that. Let's relocate the power to there. Let's relocate these over to here. And that gives me a little bit more space to play about with for actual industry on this side, where the terminal is. There we go. I've got to pipe in that new little offshoot that we've done over here. There we go. Is it my favourite board game in my collection? I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. Honestly, couldn't tell you. Like I say, I bought it a few weeks back, and I haven't played it yet. I've been building up to it because it is a very daunting experience. You know, opening up that box. It's huge and heavy, and there's a lot of rules to read through. So, is it my favourite board game? No, because I haven't even played it yet. It's the one I'm anticipating the most of the ones I've got in my collection, because I've still got a couple of others that I haven't played yet in my collection as well. But it's not my favourite one because I haven't played it, so I honestly couldn't say how good it is. I'm just going on what I've heard about it. Let's put a few small buildings up here. There we go. So there we go. A nice little industry park just there. Let's start making some districts. There we go. I mean, is that something you guys would be interested in seeing at some point? Me actually live streaming, a board game with a couple of buddies. I mean, we play on Skype. We don't play in person because we're in different parts, not just different parts of the country, but different parts of the world as well. But I can certainly stream some of the footage from that, I would imagine. Probably absolutely destroy my phone battery in the process. Yeah, I might do some Jim Bob Plays board games soon then. I'd say probably the games that I've got at the moment, the one I enjoy the most is The Outer Rim. Have a lot of fun with that. I've yet to be beaten by my buddy Rico on that, but he's come close, very close, on the last two games. And we play with an AI opponent as well, and the AI almost beat us in the last game as well. It came down to Rico had to gamble to try and get the win. It was unlikely he would get it, and he failed his attempt to actually win the game on his turn. And then the AI took their turn, and there was a chance that they were going to win, and then the AI fluffed it. And then it was my turn, and I was in a position where I could just go, right, boom, done. And I ended up winning the game. But the last couple of games I've played with Rico have gone down to, the final turn, being, me winning the game and him being a turn or two away from winning himself. They've been very close. And the AI has threatened to beat us on a couple of occasions as well. So while I am still unbeaten against him on that... Oh, there's my postman trophy, just popped up. That is deliver X amount of letters, I'm guessing. Or sort X amount of bits of mail. While I'm undefeated against him, it's not like I'm absolutely crushing him. They are close competitive games, and we both enjoy them. He's going to beat me at some point. I just know it. The longer I can hold him off, the better. So yeah, I play that one a lot with Rico. The two of us have both got our own copy of that. And then there's another buddy of mine who joins me and Rico online for Pandemic Clone Wars, another Star Wars game. We've all got a copy of that. And so, you know, I just run the master board at my end, and they mirror the moves that I make, and then, you know, input the moves that they make on my board, and then they can keep track of that on their own boards. So those are the games that we play the most. We also play Alien: Fate of the Nostromo. That's a great game. Play Horrified, Universal Monsters, and American Monsters. We've played Jaws a couple of times. Jaws is quite good fun. Hidden movement in that. And I've got some other games that I've been waiting to unleash on them as well. And that's also part of my business park down here, isn't it? So let's extend that along that way. Like so. There we go. And then make this a little district on its own. So this can be the replacement for our little village that we had last time out. Got another industry area over here. Let's go ahead and zone that out. Oops. Oh, we've got a park to build there as well, haven't we? I've completely forgot about building that park. Right, let's see. How do we split these areas up? I think... Is it just a case of everything here is a district, and then everything on the other side of the road is a district? That might be the easiest thing to do. So, yeah, I'm all for keeping things simple. There we go, we can tighten the borders up again in a moment. I think Sunset Park will be the edge of that boundary there, because there's still space to build on that side. There we go, and then we'll turn this into the next district down here, and that can cover out all this area here. Which we haven't built into yet. And then over here, again, we can do a split. Make this a really big district. There we go, it's Dale Park, and then we want something over here. There we go, and obviously this will be a district in its own right over here as well. Let's include the water in that as well, I suppose. There we go, so we've got our districts. Did I catch up on the F1 Manager stream? I did, I watched it before streaming here tonight. Yeah, Steve is hopeless at the game, but then I always knew that. And beyond that, it's too early to say. Alright, there we go, we're back up to 15,000. So we can go ahead and rebuy the tile that we bought last time out, which is that one. And that means we can now get on with actually bringing this highway along. The question is, do I want to take it all the way along? And the answer is no, not really. I probably want to terminate it, I don't know, maybe... pivot it, and so it can come across onto this. I don't know if I want this to be... I mean, I want that to be an airfield, but I don't know whether an airfield is actually going to fit on there. Planes. What do I need? I need 60,000 people to get a basic airport. I mean, there wasn't really much that they showed that I didn't already know. There was a little bit of further detail on some things. But, you know, I kind of had already gleaned most of what they talked about. They didn't answer any of the questions that I wanted answering. Just some of the basic, simple stuff, like when you sign someone to your team from a different team, what happens to the helmet? You know, is it just one bog standard, bland, boring helmet for every single driver again who ever joins your team? You know, is the numbers going to be a really bad copy-paste thing like it was last time out, or are they actually going to do a proper job on that? You know, just, and that's just a small little cosmetic stuff, you know. I mean, you could go in a lot more. There could be much more burning things, but I mean, just in terms of the small cosmetic stuff, that's what I wanted to know. Just silly little things that they could have answered. You know, everybody was asking in chat apparently, and they kept dodging the question because they like to cherry pick their questions so they can answer them. You know, answer the questions that they want to answer and ignore the ones they don't want to answer. You know, are you going to be able to change teams? No answer on that one. I don't care about construct a team. You know, build your own. You know, create a team. That's not a burning issue for me. Being able to change teams, that is more important for me. That's definitely a bigger issue. Yeah, that looks level. Happy with that. So yeah, they don't do themselves any favours when they say that they listen to the community and then they ignore all the questions the community just want answers to, and they never ever give us the answers to them. You know, it's just simple little things that they could easily just answer immediately, but they know that, you know, if they're not going to be in there, because if they were in there, then they would mention, yes, it's in the game, we will bring you further details, or we'll bring you, you know, more information on that, you know, soon, even if they don't go out and out confirm it. But to just completely ignore the question means not in the game. And they don't want to just go ahead and say not in the game, because that will immediately get a lot of the diehards to just go, right, that's it, not buying the game. Whereas I think their hope is that some of the diehards will just go, what the hell, and they'll just buy it in the hope that if it's not there, it'll get added in. But if they know it's not there, or, you know, it's not there, but they've got plans, you know, if it's not there, then it's not there. If they've got plans to add it in, that'd be great. You know, I would quite happily, you know, wait for that patch to come, however, you know, many months down the line it comes, as long as it comes. But for them to just, you know, as I say, dodge the question repeatedly, never answer it, you know, and then be surprised when they get backlash from that, you know, that's just stupid. Frontier do a lot of things right when it comes to listening to their community. They also do a lot of things wrong, you know. Yeah, I saw that thread as well. There is an element of truth to that. I wouldn't say it's actually, why am I doing that? I want to bring that round, curve it round. I mean, there are people out there who played well into the mid-30s on their save files and posted, you know, screenshots and results and stuff from their files, but yeah, I mean, you get bored playing the same team over and, you know, season in, season out, and it's you know, I don't mind doing another team, but and starting from scratch, but you can only do that so many times, going back to the very beginning every time, and it would just be so much nicer to just go, right, let's just move to this team here and see if I can, you know, that team were doing well at one point, but since I became a dominant force, they are now struggling, and they have suffered. Let's see if I can restore them back to glory. Should have checked the height before I went ahead and it's a little bit better. Yeah, it honestly gets a little bit soul crushing having to start from absolute zero again every time. There's only so many times I can do that before I'm just like, you know what, I can't be bothered anymore. Why is that giving me a grid line? There we go. So we've got our freeway connection all the way over to Airport Island. Let's have a look at what you've been typing, Corey. Well, this is the problem with an annual franchise. There's only so much you can do in the time that you've got in, you know, in the development cycle before you have to lock everything down and say that's it. You know, can't do anything more. That's why I was saying from day one, I really hope that this isn't an annual franchise and this is something that comes out every 2 or 3 years. But the fact that they called it F1 Manager 22 was already a huge indicator that it was going to be an annual thing. Right. Gonna go ahead and finish off the water boundary. It's a little bit wonky. Come on, latch on. Ah, there we go. They also need to improve the commentary. Yeah, they need more commentary lines. I know they've improved. Well, they said they've added in additional radio messages. They kind of had to because they've got drivers on the grid who weren't on the grid last year, so they had to add in commentary or team dialogue for Hulkenberg and Piastri. They'd have access to it and expand the library of. Oh wow, that bridge is really. It's just not up to it, is it? There's scope to improve, the amount of commentary available for Zhou as well. Now that he's had an extra season on the grid. Yes, Alistair. I made sure to check it on this one. No, this is JB. This is Bobbington 2.0. So I started again during the week, and built something similar but different on the same map. And if I go to my milestones, you'll see when we get to 75 that all 25 tiles are unlocked this time, whereas it wasn't last time. That was missing. So, yeah, I've spent the last week just kind of working on this ever since the end of Monday night stream. Since Tuesday morning onwards, I've been working away on this bit by bit, a little bit here, a little bit there. Let's see. So we've got all that done there. I just took this bridge out, didn't I? Because it was way too low. Let's go ahead and sort that out now. That's too high. I know that's too high, but I just want to put a guideline road in. I'm going to turn off the night mode now as well. Now that we've had our fun looking at the changes we made. There we go. Change the time of day. Let's check I turned it off. I did. Good. You wish the cars were more fluent in the way they move. That's understandable for them to be a little bit jerky. I mean, at the end of the day, they are, simulated. They're not actual racing going on. So, I don't have too much of an issue with that. Sometimes they do look a little bit herky-jerky. Ooh. Looks like it's going down ever so slightly. It's better than it was. Too much. Actually, no, I want that to be extended along because I want to have the option of putting a road underneath it. I am starting to really enjoy that little quirk. and being able to do that. Yeah. I mean, I know I spent a lot of time recently ranting about the half-assed overtake bullshit, which really winds me up. But again, it's the result of the calculation of, is this driver going to successfully complete this overtake, yes or no? And if the answer's no, the answer's no. You know, it is what it is. This one is going to need to come out more. It might not be high enough. I don't think that's high enough on this side. Oh, it might be. Just. Ah, come on. Go where I want you to go. There we go. Oh, great. I got pillars in the way there now. Oh, dear. Okay, so let's put the road there instead. Oh, man. What is going on with the snapping tonight? It's just all over the place. It looks a little low, but there is just about clearance. It's a little bit further away from the water than I would like, so what I might have to do is just rework that slightly. If I bring this road well, this road's actually going to be freeform, isn't it? Take that out. So let me get the basics of the road where I want it to be. Like that, because I really did like having that waterfront really up close to the back of the houses. I thought that looked really good. So now I can bring this around a little bit. Now I've got to get rid of this angle snapping. There we go. I did watch. We were talking the other day about games that I was anticipating for the rest of this year, and I forgot about one, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It depends on how you look at it. But RoboCop Road City, there's been some extra gameplay footage shown. IGN did a hands-on preview talking about the game, and they talked about the pros and cons of the game, which is good. They didn't just give it a glowing review, which is important. And it's made by the same studio that did the Terminator Resistance game, which is potentially quite worrying because the Terminator Resistance game wasn't great by all accounts. Gee, why am I trying to run that so close? Don't need to run that so close. That's really clunky as well. And it looks, like a game that could be fun, but it also looks, from the sounds of it, like it could be a game with a short shelf life, which is a little disappointing. I mean, it looks glorious. They built it on Unreal 5, and the footage I've seen of Detroit City looks amazing. But without knowing a little bit more about how the game is going to progress, it does seem as though you will be just incredibly overpowered when it comes to combat. And while it's kind of in keeping with RoboCop to be just this walking tank of bulletproofness, how much can you get out of that before you start getting a little bored of it? When you're able to just gun down everything very, very easily. So yeah, I'm curious about that game. I'm hoping it's going to be good. It is out later this year, I think. But I'm cautiously optimistic on that one. Evening, Chandlers. Oh, you're talking about this, the City Skylines 2 screenshots. Yeah, I saw those. They may just be placeholder images. They might not be, representative of what we're actually going to get. They might just be something that's a placeholder. So don't just assume that that's going to be what it looks like, because it might not. They were on Reddit. I'm assuming that they'll have been taken off the listing will have been taken off the Xbox store now. I'd be amazed if it's still up there, but yeah, you can always go and have a look at the Xbox stores, see if they're still on there. There we go. Go back to the 90-degree angle now. And I think I might call it a night there. So yeah, a little bit of an overview of where we, of what we've done. So obviously this is the new look Bobbington. As you can see, developed in a very different way this time. We've got residential all the way around here. We've got ourselves a university and high school over there. We've got a intercity bus terminal there. And we've got one over here by our reworked station area. We've got ourselves a little mixture of offices and commerce just over here. And then we've got a dedicated business park just over here. And we've got ourselves a taxi rank just there as well. What's the point? Are we still getting cars trying to park down there? Let's just watch for a second. This is our second bus terminal here, right next to the station. I'm not seeing people queuing up by the taxis anymore, which is a little annoying. But it might still get drop-offs there, potentially. Oh, one of the funniest things I saw while I was just doing some city watching earlier, one of these guys on bikes went on to... these look like these are heading to the station, these jeeps. Yeah, the taxis are going into the station again now. That's what I was trying to avoid by having the path network the way I did. Never mind. But yeah, at least we stopped them doing that. So that's kind of just a cosmetic road at this stage. Maybe I might reinstate the pathway at some point. I don't know yet. Lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? What was I talking about before I got distracted? Yeah, we've got our second bus terminal here and this little business area over here by the rework station. We've created a new industry area here tonight, and we've put in a dedicated cargo hub as well. We've also put in a secondary power area just here, and a secondary waste recycling area over here. We've got this district that I'd already put the basic framework in, kind of zoned in now and hooked up and piped in and everything. And we've gone ahead and added in some people over here to a kind of an existing framework. Needed zoning and piping. We've done all that tonight. We've added in a couple of other little bits and bobs, including a new cemetery. So we've got 3 cemeteries up and running now. We've completed some work on this section by opening up this tile tonight as well. So we've gone ahead and put in the side wall all the way along the side, put in the hand-drawn road that's going to kind of follow that all the way along the edge, and stuff will kind of spring off that a little bit more organically, hopefully. And we've created our highway connection all the way through to what will be our airport island. I will probably end up having to reduce where these bridges come in a little bit, because I might need the space for the airport. We took out the rail line, as you can see by the gaps in the trees that run all the way through, because there was just no need for that at this stage. And that's where we sit with Bobbington version 2.0. Oh, and we've put districts in as well, so it's starting to take shape quite nicely. It looks a bit more organic from this view than it did last time. It doesn't look quite so gridded and blocky as it did last time. You're suggesting a trumpet interchange on Airport Island? Yeah, I will do something down here. Not quite sure how I'm going to connect them up yet. But like I said, I want to wait. We've got to wait till 60,000 before we can unlock airports anyway, and then see if we can actually fit one on here before we can then start looking at maybe, figuring out how we want to get stuff in there. I just wanted to create the basic freeway section going over there, so that I've got the ability to plan around it and not have to kind of then rework everything once we hit 60,000 and go, oh crap, I need a main road connection to go to there. So that's that taken care of in advance. So next time out, we will continue to just finish off this little area around here and around here, and then we can start working on this area down here as we push up. The next milestone is 30,000. That will get us another tile, and when we get the next tile, then we can go ahead and get that one in front of us there, and we can start planning our downtown area a little bit. After 30,000 is 40,000, and then we'll get helicopters and another tile. 60,000 is when we'll finally get the planes and another tile. So yeah, we're making good progress, and we've still got plenty of space to play about with. And we can also look at maybe getting these two tiles in the future as well, so that we can go ahead and do some work on that rail connection and also hooking up our freeway here to the main freeway over there as well. So yeah, plenty of stuff to look forward to in the coming days and weeks of our live streams with City Skylines. We're going to start renaming the districts based on your guys' suggestions next week on Monday, so do come prepped with some ideas. I'm not naming everything after you, Anthony. Do not ask me for Houghton District, Houghton Heights, Houghton Park, Houghton Station, etc. It's not going to happen. You'll get one thing. You'll get one thing. Everyone will get a chance for something. And then, we can then look at maybe increasing the influence of certain people on the map. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not naming everything after Houghton, so you can stop asking straight away. So until then, that's it from me. I'll be back on Monday with more City Skylines, and then we'll be back with F1 on Tuesday. So until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more City Skylines and F1 Manager very soon.